A Florida man now faces the death penalty after jurors convicted him of murdering his ex-girlfriend's 11-year-old daughter. The psychopath in question, Miguel Ruiz Lobo, 51 years of age, tried to make others believe that young Martha Guzman, the 11-year-old girl, died by unlifing herself because she had a history of cutting. She had a history of self-harming, so this psychopath thought that he could convince others that she took her own life. But I'm going to say, thankfully, forensics were able to identify his DNA under Martha's fingernails, which tragically indicates that she struggled as she was being killed. She tried to defend herself as best she could. She tried to hold on to life, but tragically to no avail. This 51-year-old scumbag took it away from her. Martha was stabbed in the throat. Her wrists were slashed. Detectives determined that due to her wrist injuries, there was no way that she could have stabbed herself in the throat. Miguel Ruiz Lobo, the mother's ex-boyfriend, was found with scratches on his face and arms. So again, he's been convicted of murder. He's been found guilty in a court of law of murdering Martha Guzman, the 11-year-old daughter of his ex-girlfriend. Clearly, there was a lot of evidence that enabled the jury to convict. Miami-Dade State Attorney said, "I am very appreciative of the good work by prosecutors on this terribly challenging and tragic case. It is so difficult to fathom and so heartbreaking to learn how much young Martha suffered before being brutally killed by someone whom she should have been able to trust to protect her. Hopefully this verdict has provided some measure of justice to her beloved mother." So of course, full condolences to the mother and any other family and friends of 11-year-old Martha Guzman. It is mentioned within the article that Martha did have siblings. The article that I went through didn't provide the full details of how many brothers, how many sisters, but there is at least one other child involved within the family, and they've lost their elder sister. So full condolences again to Martha's family and friends. Martha's mother reportedly filed several restraining orders against the psychopath in question, her ex-boyfriend Miguel Ruiz Lobo, in the months leading up to her daughter's death, but each of these restraining orders were denied. So the mother did what she could do. She followed the right protocol. She knew her ex-boyfriend was a danger. She tried to protect herself and her family, her children. She went to the authorities multiple times, requesting multiple restraining orders. Each were denied. So that's a failing from the authorities. I would think that an investigation would need to take place there. An investigation would be justified, really, to identify what went wrong and how could that best be avoided moving forward in other cases, other situations, to protect those in danger, not necessarily mothers, but Martha's mother clearly was extremely concerned for her welfare, her children's welfare, and the assistance that she requested was denied. And that's, as I say, is a failing and is perhaps, not necessarily, but perhaps part of the multitude of aspects that culminated in the life of Martha being taken away. Detectives believe that the ex-boyfriend killed Martha because the young girl allegedly convinced her mother to break up with the psycho in question. So Martha, we don't know too much about her, but I can see that she was smart, she was intuitive, insightful, intelligent, and brave. That's not an easy thing to do, to have a conversation with your parent. Hey mom, you should leave that psycho, he's a psycho. It's not an easy conversation to have. Allegedly, Martha did exactly that. She had that conversation with her mother, convinced her mother that the mother needed to leave the psychopathic boyfriend. The mother found Martha dead in their home in the Little Havana neighborhood of Miami, Florida, June 22nd, 2014. Martha's mother found her with the knife in her throat. Another one of the mother's children, a 3-year-old, was inside the home when Martha was killed. Originally, the defendant claimed that he had not seen the victim for days before her death, but surveillance footage from a neighbor placed him at the house for about half an hour on the day of the murder. So again, he's been convicted of murdering 11-year-old Martha Guzman. We're not told of a sentence at this point in time. Presumably the sentencing is upcoming. And this happened in Florida. So my understanding is that you guys in Florida rightfully have very strict sentencing. I believe that includes the death penalty. I'm going to make another video shortly in regards to Ron DeSantis calling for the death penalty to be applied more readily in the cases of child SA in particular, but I believe that includes child murder as well. I would hope it does. This 51-year-old scumbag, he's had every opportunity at life. He's had 51 years on the planet, plenty of time to mature as an adult, and his grand total of being is to be an absolute psychopath and a child murderer. So this is not a human being that deserves any level of human rights, in my my mind. We all have different opinions. Perhaps I don't quite mean exactly what I'm saying absolutely literally, but certainly I would not afford this scumbag too many human rights. I would be all for the death penalty myself personally. I think it's a shame that the death penalty can be so costly to the system, to the taxpayers. There's all kinds of appeals and such, added security for those on death row, added expense to the taxpayer. I think that's a real shame. If it were up to me, I'd take the quick and easy route. Oh, you've been sentenced. Oh, you've been found guilty. Okay, well, walk with me this way, will you, Mr. Child Murderer? Yep, can you climb those stairs? Hang on to this rope for a little bit. Put it around your neck. I probably won't finish off that little anecdote, but I would not afford too much respect to this absolute filth personally. So I'm going to wrap things up here. Again, full condolences to all family and friends of the deceased 11-year-old Martha Guzman, killed June 22nd, 2014, 9 years ago, but I'm sure the hole that her loved ones felt is still there. If you appreciate the coverage, please do like, comment, subscribe, share the video as you see fit. Consider joining the memberships. Show me some support. Going to be making some more videos. Going to be doing a few different things on the channel as well, if time permits. So yeah, please do stick around and take care.